Okay, so I haven't seen anyone do a in-depth or up-close and personal product review of a Trophyline ambush Lite saddle. So this is what my setup looks like. Packed up. I'll get a little bit more in depth to that here in a second. This is my Trophyline ambush Lite. It has molly on it. I have these attached for climbing sticks to attach my sticks as I'm climbing. These are just some mag pouches from an army surplus store. I think they're like $3 a piece. These are grenade pouches. This is what I have my pull ropes up. I just kind of daisied them together. Once I get up there, I can keeps it from getting untangled. Or I'm sorry, keeps it from getting tangled. So I pull my bag or bow or whatever else up. And these are just grenade pouches. They molly on as well. This is the general construction of it. I'm about 6'1", 280, 290 pounds. I wear a 42 waist pants. This is the large, extra large version. After a while, it gets a little annoying to get in this thing. There's no buckles. The buckles on this right here are kind of generic. They're a little loud. They slip a little bit. This is your adjustable bridge here. How it connects here. It's all sewn in, permanently affixed, non-removable. The leg straps are not adjustable, so you have to kind of climb in this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and climb in it. Kind of show you how I do it. Just bear with me. This is how I have my pack set up. It's just a small pack. Everything fits nice and together, not real cumbersome. You can move. Easy to set up, easy to carry. It's not that bulky. It's a lot better to walk in with this setup, I find, than your traditional climbers or your lock-ons that are very cumbersome. Weight distribution's horrible on them. So this setup is a lot lighter. I feel that it's quieter, easier to move through the woods, and you don't get snagged on a bunch of stuff. I'll take my pack off. Come get in here on this. So this is what I have set up and how it's set up. Everything is attached to the pack with some straps. I don't know what kind of pack it is. I got it at an army surplus store. It's got a lot of molly stuff and clips and all that on it. But, I just unsnap it. Have sticks here. They're Muddy Pros. They seem to work well for me. I have attached these to it. That way I can clamp them onto there as I'm climbing. One. You have lineman's attachments here, separate from your bridge. This is how I set up my Prusik on my lineman's belt. I run my tag in through. I'll show you what that's for here in a second. These complaints that I've seen on the forums and people getting into this and not being as familiar with climbing and knots and stuff like that versus your traditional tree stands. I've used a lock-on this entire season. I'm just now going to this setup. This is how I do it. I just run the tag in back through my carabiner. With a single carabiner, you're going to have this equipment anyway. And this allows you to do a one-handed operation. You just grab the tag in and pull. One-hand operation. Need to release. There. I'll get a close up on it. So all I do is run my tag in. Normal. Run your tag in through your carabiner. Grab it. Pull. It slides. Slide your Prusik up. Readjust. So like I said, this is how I do it. It might not work for everybody. It can get a little noisy if these start hitting or what have you, but this to me is the easiest way that I've found to climb, being around 300 pounds and 6'1". So just bear with me. Reach back, grab them as you need them, and continue on. For video purposes sakes, we're going to go ahead and end there. We're just going to simulate that I'm already at my hunting height. Next step I'm going to show is how I get my platform off my pack and hang my platform. Take my pack off. I use my lineman's belt as a makeshift table. Unsnap it, a platform. And I have everything separated. Once I have it separated, put my pack back on. I'm ready to roll. So for everyone getting into this platform, most platforms are designed just like a hang-on stand. So works on the same principle. It cams over. I've seen some that just slide down with pressure, kind of like a stick. So I get my platform set, probably about knee height from my last stick. Go around. Once you have your platform set, you just cam it over, and that's that. At this point, what I like to do before I step up on my platform, in case this was to fail, anything like that, I go ahead and I get my tether out. That way I can do this as safe as possible. Keep your tether in this side. I keep my lineman's belt in this side. So now once I have that, I'm permanently attached to the tree in two separate ways. Slide that up. Now this is not going to be the hunting height of my tether, but we'll adjust that when we get up here. I'm just doing this as an extra precaution to continue to be safe. I leave my lineman's belt on until I step onto my platform. I like to put my tether a little bit above forehead height, and I can fine tune it as we go along. This is a good starting point. Once everything is good and set, I'm comfortable with my setup. What I'll do then is I'll tighten my tether up, kind of set it. Before I take my lineman's belt off, once everything's set, you're free to go. This is your hunting height. Take my lineman's belt. Come on this side, Tristan. Fold my lineman's belt back up. Stow it away in this designated pack. Now from up here, this is pretty comfortable for me to lean, to hunt. Depending on where you set your tether height and all of this, you're gonna have to fine tune this to your liking. But this is the Trophyline Ambush Lite. This is how I use my setup, my sticks, everything like that. Now once I'm up here, you can take out your bow hanger or your gear straps, whatever you want to do. You can hang your bow, hang all this other stuff. Sometimes you can, if you want to limit your equipment, you can use your lineman's belt to hang stuff off of with a girth hitch. I've done that before. Anything. So And once you're up here, I like to tie a safety in. With my excess tag line. That way it's out of my way. And I have free range to hunt how I want and not have to worry about that tag line. So once you're on the ground, that's when I go ahead and undo my lineman's belt. Prusiks have a tendency of tightening up really tight and getting in a bind. That's why I like them. There's no mechanical failure to deal with. Wouldn't say it's lighter or any less effective. This is just the way I do it. I just don't feel as safe with a Ropeman 1 or a mechanical ascender as I do as with knots. So I just roll my lineman's belt back up. Put it back in its designated place. See, this is what I was talking about, the half hitch on the climbing sticks. If you're using the Muddy Pros, it has this cool little cam system with this rope. I just put a half hitch in it to kind of keep it from backing out. Not that it would, but like I said, to be safe, that's how I do it. It works for me, might not work for you. But that's that. You're walking in under a mile, it's not uncomfortable. You just pull it off, step out of it. So this saddle is extremely comfortable. The one downside that I have, my complaints are, is the waist buckle. To me, if you replaced it with a Cobra buckle, or if they were to put a Cobra buckle on it from the manufacturer, it would be a better deal. It's kind of noisy, kind of clanks around. You can silence it if you want. It's not really that big of a deal to me, but it's one of those things. The bridge, I don't like the webbing bridge, but I do like the webbing bridge. It is adjustable. It's one continuous strap, very strong, very beefy. Gives you that sense of security when you're up in a tree that you're not going to fall. This is very well put together, constructed. I don't like that these don't have buckles on them, and the only reason I say that is because I'm kind of lazy. To me, it would just be easier if I had a removable bridge, a Cobra buckle on the belt, and Cobra buckles on here. That way I could just, instead of stepping in it and picking it up and shimmying it over my clothes, I could put a buckle on it. Buckle system would be a lot easier to get on. I'm a big guy. This is the large, extra large. I wear, like I said, a 42, about 280 to 300 pounds. Depends on how much cake I've eaten that day. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna show you how I roll up all my gear and how it packs. So take the stick that is not wrapped up, it goes on the top. The stick that's wrapped up goes on the bottom. I'll show you why here in a second. I use the strap, the stock strap, to go around. I find that if you go around 3 times on the bottom of the cam and 3 times on the top of the cam, you're left with a very small tag end. Just run it back to itself. There, it's not going anywhere. So that's how I pack these up. Okay, so now that I have all 4 of my sticks wrapped up, prepared to pack, I just grab my pack like this here. I have these straps here. I just take them, I put these facing away from me so they don't hit me in my back. That's that. Turn my pack over. Same thing. Make sure these are facing away. The standoffs are facing away. That's how I pack my pack.